Everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and a tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to Patron D&D, where platinum-level patrons and I get together to play at Dungeons & Dragons via Discord and Roll20. These sessions are entirely supported by patrons of patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons also get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables. These Patron D&D games are not live-streamed, but are recorded for your viewing pleasure. You can watch more D&D sessions, reviews, and crafting streams on my YouTube channel. Read recaps at roguewatson.com and listen to all of these shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow me on Twitter at Rogue Watson and join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. Welcome to Chapter 2, Episode 1 of our Empire of the Ghouls campaign, designed by Richard Green and published by Kobold Press. This session, I am joined by patrons Brandon, playing Bahn, the Kobold Bard College of Whispers.
Good evening.
Ori, playing Lucian Drago, the dhampir Clockwork Soul Sorcerer.
Hello.
Christopher, playing Rye, the Shadow Fae Black Powder Sorcerer.
Hello. Hello.
Genocider, playing Kovac, the ratfolk Dawnblade Rogue.
Yo.
Stan, playing Alaric, the dhampir Death Domain Cleric.
Greetings.
Previously on Empire of the Ghouls. Having finally caught up to the cloaked stalker of Zobeck, the party defeated him and his undead minions, revealing that he was a ghoul named Boris Cruel. Cruel was an agent of the Ghoul Imperium and had been sent to aid a Red Sister from Morgau to establish a manipulative and bloody cult, masquerading as an adult-themed club for bored nobles. The cult would attract Zobeck nobility and politicians, where they could be easily blackmailed or coerced into aligning with Morgau's policies. The party ventured deeper underground, ambushing the guards outside of a large door. Disguising themselves as members, they entered the lair. The area was filled with over a dozen robed and masked figures. A woman was chained to an altar while another wielded a spear above her. The party crept forward and unleashed a surprise attack. Half the cultists fled, while the others pulled weapons and advanced. The Red Sister Felixia threw out several spells as the party traded blows. The tide was turned when the druid Io summoned spirit guardians via the Kobold King's magic candle and charged into the fray as the spirit slaughtered the cultists, forcing the Red Sister to surrender. Rosalind was grateful for the timely rescue. Melantia, the high-ranking consul who had been wielding the spear, was horrified to discover what had happened here, having no memory of recent events. The party gathered more incriminating evidence from Felixia's bedroom, then returned to the surface for some much-needed rest. So you all do gain the benefits of a long rest, if that wasn't already clear, as well as leveled up to 3 for this new chapter. Now, it has been nearly a week since you disrupted the cult of forbidden ecstasies, captured Felixia, and rescued Rosalind and Melantia. Rescuing his daughter, the blacksmith has contritely offered to supply one of you with either a +1 weapon or a +1 armor of your choice. He refuses to apologize for his actions, though he agrees to stay away from the Kobold Ghetto and the Rampant Roach. We'll let you all fight over who gets that reward.
I use neither.
Can he do a magic gun, or is that out of the question?
Probably is more advanced than what he can do. I think to find a weapon, you would need to find probably something a little more exotic than what can be done here.
Alaric already has a +1 rapier, so
Yeah.
I'll bow out of this.
And I only have guns, so Rye will pass.
I would use a +1 rapier
Okay.
if we want another one.
Yeah. He can make you one of those custom, and during the downtime, you are presented with a very fine +1 rapier. And it's presented to you by the husband, who is very much a stand-in for, profusely apologizing for everything he did and presenting you with the weapon and with thanks from the family.
Bahn wants nothing to do with Heston.
Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. After making sure all of you sign the proper non-disclosure agreements, Melantia pays to restore any lingering injuries that you all are suffering from. And Kovac had also brought up healing Scruff, who was the injured former Roacher whom you had delivered lunch to during our very first session of Empire of the Ghouls. And after a bit of back and forth, she finally agrees, but huffs eventually that she is not a charity case. But Kovac, you can have a point of inspiration for even thinking of that poor halfling.
Sweet.
She also offers each of you a potion of healing, in addition to whatever spoils you found in the so-called Temple of Morena, which I believe we've already doled out all of that loot, either at the end of last session or in between sessions. But the new loot is, I guess, the +1 rapier, and then everybody gets a potion of healing, including Io should be getting one as well. And she casually mentions not to leave town, as this sordid business is far from over. So I'm just going to go around and ask all of you just kind of what your character, or maybe combination of characters, have been doing during this bit of downtime that you've had. So we'll start with, let's start with Bahn.
I think Bahn's been mostly just working in his black book, making notes from everyone that he's been dealing with. Specifically, the details around Melancha that he's not supposed to speak of.
Lucian, what have you been doing during this downtime?
Lucian's probably been clothes shopping, repairing some of his clothes that have gotten into disrepair. He always likes to dress nice. And he would have contacted his mother and made sure that she was okay, where she is currently in hiding.
Okay. I'll need to get with you on that, but I've got some ideas for that. Plenty of good shopping in Zobeck as well. Rye, what have you been doing during this couple days?
Sure, so Rye's been doing a couple things. Working on more control of his spells. Practicing things like quickening his spells, and and causing them to linger. Picking up two meta magic skills, and has been working on that.
Hey, you actually flavored leveling up
as,
to 3. I appreciate that.
but it's also been trying to find parts of the city that have been kind of run down, and also like not populated, to test some of these other spells that he's been doing, all the while also looking for pistol shops and things like that to see if there's any. He carries gunsmith tools, but they're more like maintenance kits.
Mm-hmm.
But really looking for, try to hunt down like a gunsmith, to see what can be done with his current pistol and musket.
The best, I like the idea of you turn like a bad neighborhood into a worse one too, just gunshots like ringing out through all hours of the night. The best thing you can find are basically blacksmith shops with people who are enthusiastic about dabbling in it, but you get the feeling that you may be actually more advanced with your gear than anybody in this particular town.
Sure, and he definitely doesn't like, he goes into those shops as a pretends not to know anything, and just asks questions, because he doesn't want to out a game to walk into a Best Buy with a blue shirt on,
right.
So to speak. And then flips the conversation. So he's trying to feel out these types of shops.
Nice. Kovac, what have you been doing these couple days since Temple?
Kovac joins a cult as he becomes a Dawnblade rogue. So he kind of takes what he learned from the group and what he learned from the Dawn Blades, and the next time he sees the party, he's got like a whole bunch of pamphlets. He's like,
You
guys,
found religion.
you guys. Yeah.
And the Dawn, I probably don't know as much as you, but the Dawn Blades, it sounds like are an order that specifically hunt undead.
Yes, very much so.
That's pretty easy motivation there, given everything you guys have been through. Alaric, what have you been doing?
Alaric has spent time in the Temple District, going back to his roots, spending time the Temple of Wotan, and the events in the Cartways have reminded him of the fall of his homeland, and seeing a blood sister and some of the sacrifices and things, found that very disturbing. So he's been spending a lot of time in prayer, seeking for ways that, basically beseeching Wotan for ways of beseeching aid in times of crisis. And Wotan has blessed him with the ways of calling on friends and other things to aid him in upcoming endeavors.
Very nice. Find that useful.
And upgrading his armor. Because that hurt.
Yeah. It's an arms race. So just as some of you are maybe beginning to put some of this mess behind you, while others are clearly inspired and motivated to perhaps even ready yourselves for a bigger threat, you receive a summons. Specifically, Bahn is contacted by Melancha, and then Bahn can gather all of you to bring everyone to the council hall. And when you arrive, Melancha is there with a male dwarf, whom many of you recognize as Ondly Firedrake, the chairman, the head council, who served Zobeck for 30 years. I guess they don't have term limits. As, I am Chairman Firedrake, first council of Zobeck. You've been summoned here under dire circumstances. Consul Pandemic has informed us of organized activity by ghouls and vampire associates right here under our noses. We don't want to start a panic, call attention to anything that may be nothing, but my brothers and sisters in the Iron Crags have been waging this war their whole lives, and I'll be damned if I see undead crawling around this city. He slams a fist down on the table, causes Melancha to jump a bit. And she clears her throat. If I may, Chairman, she turns to you all. You all have experience dealing with these threats, and I've been impressed with your discretionary skills. We'd like to send you on an important mission. Chairman nods. Most infamous of the free cantons of the Iron Crags, Gristle, a.k.a. the Black Canton. It's officially claimed by Morgau, but they're allied with Zobeck as bastions defending against the undead at their borders. If anyone has more information on what these undead bastards are up to, it's the dwarves of the Black Canton. There's another thing, says Melancha. Elixia was seemingly immune to traditional interrogation methods, but we were able to coax a few things out of the little acolyte that you brought us. You mentioned the words Spear Maidens, Sister Adelind, Holy Relic, and Blood Marriage. Put those down for you.
Thanks, because I was going to say, I think I only got like half of it.
Mm-hmm. Those of you, if you're interested, can make history or religion check to try to identify the name, at least, Sister Adelind.
Interested, not very skilled, but interested.
I will confer advantage to those of you from Kovar, which I believe is Lucian and Alaric.
Didn't help.
That's so ironic, given that you were just so pious in the temple for so long. But,
Absolutely.
you're more of a doer than a contemplator.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Better.
Lucian, thanks to your background being from that region, you do recognize the name Sister Adelind. She was a shield maiden of Sif, which are a group of powerful, kind of paladin-like warriors who battle the undead. And she led a force battling against the undead of Morgau at a castle known as Jarosburg in Krakova 10 years ago during the big invasion. And she actually slayed a notorious vampire lord. But in the same battle, she fell in that battle as hordes of ghouls just tore her to shreds. But there's been rumors that a piece of her, the cloth part of her tunic was torn off and salvaged by one of her spear maiden sisters. And she was declared a martyr by the Queen of Krakova, now known as the Queen Exile. It is confirmed that she is still alive, but technically no longer ruling over Krakova. Her name is Ursula. And it is rumored that now that cloth has been bestowed very powerful magic. But these are all rumors and legends. All the legend for 10 years ago, but still. And nobody has really seen or heard from this, any of these events. And obviously, Krakova has been a hotbed of danger. There's no confirmations to be had. The chairman says, "We're not sure what their plans are, but hopefully someone in Gristle does. Seek out the lore master, Trehild Shardspike, if she's still alive. Nobody knows more about undead and the history of Krakova and Morgau than her. Send you with an official letter from Zobeck, but he warned the dwarves of the crags can be a bit prickly to outsiders." And Melancha speaks up and says, "The journey to Gristle is north along the mountain road, and will take you over 2 weeks. We hope you will take up this quest as a just cause. We know you need to be able to eat and sleep and risk your lives. So the Council of Zobeck is willing to pay each of you 200 gold pieces in advance for services rendered." And at that, the chairman kind of grumbles a bit, says, "Melancha's vouching for you lot. Claims you're a trustworthy short who won't simply take the money and run. But seeing you now, I suspect for some of you at least, dealing with the Blood Kingdom and the Imperium may be a personal matter."
With that, Alaric will change his cloak to the flag of Korkova and bow. "You have that very well correct."
He nods respectfully.
I'll also step forward. You have me too.
I'll step up and nod solemnly.
Rye also follows suit.
As you wish.
She smiles at you, Bahn. Says, That's what I'd figured. Do you have any questions, or you need any supplies? Zobeck is certainly a large town, and I believe you all
I've
know
got
your way
lots of
around."
questions. But none that I'll ask now.
Horses, tent, a map,
Yeah.
basic expedition gear.
Yeah, you guys will definitely have a map. She says, if you want horses, you can purchase them with some of the money you're being given. You should all have basic rations, bedrolls, tent gear. All that shit is pretty standard. But if you do want riding mounts, that would be an extra expense. Forget how expensive they are. Somebody can probably look that up. But they do mention that while they don't have any technically pressing concerns, obviously just having these events happened with so much undead, with so much apparently organization, that they fear that every day that goes by that there's something going on behind the scenes.
So you're asking us not to take our time.
That would be wise. Yes, it's 75 right.
Are there any other things you need done along the way, Consul Vendemic?
She
No
smiles.
missives.
Yeah. She smiles and says, I think that will be all for us, but perhaps if I send you with this, and she hands you what you recognize as a sending stone.
Cool.
If we were to stay in communications,
Consider it done.
I trust you're all fully rested and recuperated.
Thank you for the assistance with that.
At that, she finally nods graciously. You could tell she was waiting the whole time to be thanked. Of course, it's the least I can do for rescuing us from those terrible events.
Inwardly, Alaric is glad that she's no longer rubbing her neck from that chill touch spell.
Right, yeah, she almost
She
absentmindedly
has
when
no
she
memory
sees you.
of that.
Yeah. She hasn't, but she still like remembers like something had happened, and she kind of, you could see her occasionally like touch that spot absentmindedly. All right, if you guys don't have any more questions, you can shop and grab whatever you need from town with your new, and she does, like, there's a person at the front desk who pays out each of you for 200 gold.
Yeah, thanks. I knew that there was more stuff there.
And then if you all want to buy horses, you can do that. If you want to buy any other supplies, you can do that. Zobeck should have pretty much everything that's in the player's handbook under adventuring gear, weapons, armor, for whatever the cost is. We did mention, I think, Stan had asked, you can always sell your currently equipped gear at 50% value, but don't expect to be looting like every bandit's fucking sword. Nobody wants that shit, so that's not going to be something you'll be doing.
Well, if you guys want, you could get a draft horse and a cart or a wagon, and Alaric is definitely interested in getting his own horse. Being a hussar, he would be willing to ride security or whatnot if you guys wanted to, do a wagon or something.
That's
like
true.
that
Yeah,
instead
not
of
everybody has to
getting.
ride.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds way better than me having to ride for 2 weeks.
Kovac doesn't want to ride a horse either.
Yeah, that's probably
More
fair.
economical.
Mm-hmm. Or you get a donkey. Donkey's only 8 gold. Probably not going to make the trip though.
I have to AFK 2 seconds, but I'll be back.
Yep. I need to add.
Going to Rise Math. I'm down 85, 87. Up 200, down 87.
All right, so who all is getting a horse? Who all wants to just ride?
I'll ride.
Rye is going to get a horse.
Okay.
Kovac will be in the wagon.
Wagons. Art piece. Typed in wagon, it gave me a art piece from back in Shadowrun. Holy crap.
Flashbacks are real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Alaric is back in full flashback mode, getting on a horse with pulls out his spear finally. And it's like, yep, back in the saddle again, literally.
Mm-hmm. There we go. It's wagon. Back. So there were 3 people on horses or 2 on horses, sorry.
Alaric and Rye are on horses, I know for sure.
Yeah, I think the rest of us are riding.
Yeah, wagon for me.
Okay. Don't mind me, just making adjustments to some maps. Yeah. All right. Any other shopping or supplies that we need to purchase before we get on the road?
Is it possible for me to find a gem dealer?
Yeah, I think you can find a jeweler in here for sure.
I have some gold that I would love to exchange for 100 GP Onyx gem.
100 GP Onyx gem.
Yep.
I'm prepared for that because you did tell me about that.
I don't have it prepared, but that will allow me to any given morning swap it out.
Right. Yes, I'm gonna say yes. You can just purchase that for 100 gold.
All right, thank you.
Probably one of the finer jewels when you walk into the store. Get to throw down for probably like one of their most expensive marquee items.
If we had more time, I'd have it crafted into my rapier, but
and he definitely tries to like
future,
whatever merchant is there, he or she definitely tries to like upsell it and like, oh, we can, a nice necklace or an amulet or something. It would just be this much, extra cost and handling and all that.
spider themed rapier. It would look lovely as a spider on here.
Yeah,
but that'll have to wait when I have more time in a rush.
Disappointing.
But he also sells you the cleaning kit.
That's right. The protection plan in case like a little flaw happens. You can take it in once a month and get it cleaned for free, and it's the low price of $9.99. Suddenly you're paying a fucking monthly service charge to the jeweler.
Well, if I talk to him for a minute, I'd come out with blood, but I'll be nice. Yeah, I'd come out with a stone, temporary hit points, restored hit dice. It'd be awesome.
Yep. Now, we can never go back to this town.
He'd do it willingly. It'd be great. One failed charisma save, and he's all mine.
So I was going to ask you your general marching orders for traveling, although given the horse and wagon system, that may already answer my question. But unless you guys had a specific way you want to be traveling generally down the road. At least one horse has got to be pulling that cart.
We're getting a third horse for the cart, right?
Yeah,
third
you'd
horse
need
for the
a
cart?
draft
Okay.
horse.
Yeah.
So somebody, one of you is driving then.
So they can be free.
That's good information.
I don't have animal handling, but
Who needs animal handling? I'm sure you won't run into any trouble.
It's a dexterity check. It's not that bad, right?
probably none of us do, but
Alaric will volunteer to take point for marching order.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
stuff tends to be a little bit more
should the
up
two-
close and personal.
should the two free horsemen surround the cart, like, kind of protect it?
The question is, do we
Or do you
flank
wanna be
it
up front?
side to side, or one in the front, one in the back? Depends on how narrow the streets are, right?
Yeah.
They
I
get
say front and back.
Okay,
and,
front, right.
Kovac will be driving the cart.
Gotcha. So we want Rye in the back then?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Not that it's ever going to come up. I'm just, hypothetical.
Rye is slowly pacing behind the cart. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
the
then
swivel.
before we get started, I also want to ask about your general camping and watch time schedule. Whenever you make camp at night, what's the general plan for that?
You're muted, Brandon.
Yeah, so Bahn would prefer to take one in the middle of the evening, not at dusk and not at sunrise.
Generally have 3 we need to fill out. Or not. You can just let the chips fall where they may.
So the middle one.
I can take one. I'll take third shift, last one.
Okay.
I'll take the first one.
Being an elf that only needs 4 hours, so do I take 1.5? I can take 1.5 shifts.
Actually, probably 2.
Nobody has to sleep, it turns out.
I'll take first shift, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And Alaric will take whatever shift Kovac's not on.
I only need 3.
Yep.
Everybody's like, I volunteer to distribute. If I was in this party, I'd be like, good, I'm fucking sleeping.
Well, I won't complain. They'll
Yeah.
let me sleep.
Humans.
I'll do Rye, Kovac, and Lucian. How's that sound? You guys can
Sure.
fight over it from there, but
Okay.
what I'll have going for it. And you guys can always change this, but this is just... I figure it's easier to ask at the beginning rather than, like, right before, like, oh, why do you need to know now? So, get away with it. All right. I will switch you all, assuming we are done with Zobeck, to the wider world. So hopefully some of you have actually seen this map before. You can link to the browser version of it under... where's it at? Somewhere. I forget actually where it is. I may have actually put it... Okay, so if you look at under the story so far and campaign introduction, you can click on the link to Midgard map, and that will open a larger, better version of the actually it's the same one. I literally just copy and pasted this. That you can kind of roam around in, zoom in, and have all that fun with. Unfortunately, the Roll20 version does not come with that sexy map, so instead I just kind of cropped and cut and pasted the parts that we're using. At least using for the moment. So welcome to kind of the middle part of Midgard. You all are located here, and you can see this map, right? I didn't turn on dynamic lighting or anything. Everybody can see it. Okay. So you all are represented by this little D&D symbol here at Zobeck. Near the bottom, kind of middle. Got the Margrove Forest to the east, the Iron Crags to the west, which seem pretty close, but actually the place you're trying to reach, Grissol, is quite a bit north up here. The Greater Duchy of Morgau, which is of course the Undead Kingdom, includes Morgau and Duresh, and now most recently Krakovar to the north. It's all considered occupied undead territory. And the first several days of travel are fairly uneventful. The roads closest to Zobeck are well maintained and heavily traveled. And and by the way, I should mention, and this is in the house rules, there is no automatic long resting while traveling in the greater outdoors. Definitely keep that in mind. We're using kind of rules I've adapted since Tomb. And this is not a hex scroll or anything, but I think it makes overland travel. I'm about to go into like crafting stream mode when I talk about it, but anyway, I think it will help balance the encounters. But I do want to make sure you all realize that you will not automatically long rest at the end of each day. When you get to safe havens and towns and locations, then you can opt to stay there and get the benefits of a long rest. Otherwise, when you rest at night, you can always gain the benefits of a short rest. Continuing on. Roads close to Zobeck are well maintained and heavily traveled. On the fourth day, you pass by the Oberstenau mine and approach the freehold of Obertal, a small fort that ostensibly keeps the roads in the surrounding areas clear and safe. And as you pass by this fort, a pair of shadows descends from above, and you look up and see griffins with mounted armored riders. And quicker than you can react, they swoop down and land dramatically in front and behind you, causing your horses to give a momentary panic and buck. Appears to be a man and a woman in full like knight armor. And the man says, "Ho there, travelers! My Lady Adeltrod and myself, Sir Gizmondo, Griffin Knights of Zobeck, welcome you to our roads. They are our roads, aren't they, dear?" "Indeed they are, love, and we take good care of them. And that care costs money." "Yes, indeed. Gracious donations from travelers such as yourselves." "Judging from their clothes and their gear, these ones are mighty gracious, love." You see the knight throws a sack on the ground. He says, "Let's play a little game where you decide how gracious you're going to be, and we decide if we're going to be offended by it." He pats his griffin and looks at you sharply.
Alaric turns around and
huddle
looks at
for
the
a minute?
wagon. Bahn,
Sidebar.
Bahn, you're up.
Well, 1 second, please. And he'll call Lucian over too, for sure. And then, so naturally, I don't want to give anything to anyone, but maybe the spear that we found in the temple.
Oh, the silvered one?
Well, I mean, unless any of us are going to use it, and I don't intend to.
No. It may have come in handy, but maybe this is what it was meant for. We can...
Also, it's probably better you speak to them in this scenario, because I'm already like ready to start stabbing.
And I'm like, "Hey guys, I got that marble."
Found in a corpse.
Lightly used.
Yeah. It had something like a little bit magical in it, didn't it? I forget what it was.
It just
Like,
gently
vibrated.
vibrates.
Okay.
So it could be used a number of ways.
That's
And
yes.
she might like it.
A number
Well,
of ways.
Okay,
It's
that's
a
not
massage stone. Put it on your back.
We might be able to use that and maybe tell them that it's some. Well, no, never mind. There are identify spells in this world, so that's probably not a good idea. It doesn't matter how good I am at deceiving if they can see right through it.
I mean, maybe it was a one-time use thing that they. Oh, that must have expired.
Yeah, I'll take the spear out.
When you take the spear out, they both go to their.
I'll hold it like this. You know,
Okay.
across my hands.
What you got there, love?
Perhaps this would interest you. We are all actually residents of Zobeck. Some have adopted it as our hometown, but we understand keeping the roads safe, and perhaps this silvered spear would interest you.
Toss it over here, love.
Do we know
Toss it.
that like this
Yeah.
is a thing? Like I don't think Bahn's left
Yeah.
the town, right?
Mm.
He's a city boy.
City boy.
Yeah, he's a city. So I don't think Bahn's left the town.
Just emptying your pockets at the first person.
No,
Anything to keep the roads clear.
Thank you so much.
So nice.
Has Alaric encountered these guys before in his travels?
You've heard of Griffin Knights, and Zobeck does employ forts in kind of a surrounding area, and it is their job for sure is to keep the area safe. You don't know these ones in particular, and you haven't heard of them necessarily extorting people. You can roll an insight check on these folks to see what you gauge from them.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I could
and
look at your insignia also.
yeah.
See if it looks legit.
Ooh, Mr. +5 here.
Would you like me to roll also, or?
Well, 18 is good enough to get the
Just-
information. While you're talking, Alaric can kind of size them up, and perhaps he can kind of go over and whisper to you the information. But they do appear to have official gear on, emblems and everything, identifying them as such. By their mannerisms and their attitude, they don't appear to be, bandits or even like they're particularly hostile about it. They're almost more mischievous than anything else. They seem to be just in exuberant good spirits, and that also this is probably something they do
Off the record.
Everybody, yeah, and kind of off the, yeah, but you don't think it's necessarily, I mean, it's not super malicious on their part. Obviously it's a little malicious, but you don't think there's any like cruelty behind it or anything like that. So
Like dirty cop type thing.
yeah, you don't think it's quite like they're corrupt or anything to that expect. They just
Oh.
they kind of do expect some payment. They just kind of see if they can basically get away with it.
Well, Alaric is going to kind of, definitely put his spear in a non-threatening, just like put it in the holster, in a stirrup. So it's, it's vertical, and kind of approach this a little bit. And it's like, if I have a moment of your time, sir, and just want to talk him up, and I'm going to try to use predatory charm on him.
Okay, I'll have to explain what that is. Predatory charm.
As an action, I magically beguile the mind of a creature that you can see within 30 feet. So I just need to get within 30 feet of them.
Okay.
And I have advantage on charisma checks made against the target. So I want to persuade them just to let us go.
Okay. For 1 hour. Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay.
So I have advantage on a persuasion check. And
When you lock eyes, advantage for the win.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What do you actually say?
It's like, we definitely appreciate the work that you're doing here, but we are in a bit of a hurry, and so we need to be on our way. But definitely respect to as a fellow soldier, I respect what you're doing, but just looking for a little bit of grace for a fellow veteran here, to let us be on our way.
Okay. Your eyes kind of pool a little bit, and he seems to, blink in understanding a few moments and says, yes, of course. For a fellow soldier on an important mission. My lady, these are emissaries from Zobeck and soldiers and warriors. Surely they have earned the right to pass, yes? And you can see she is, the Griffin actually reached down and picked up that spear and kind of cocked its head back. And they appear to be and they're all saddled up. They got barding and appear very well trained. And she kind of pats the Griffin and takes the spear and kind of takes a few swipes with it. Says, "What's that, love? Oh, yes. I suppose so. This is a mighty fine piece of poking. I'd say these folks have earned their right to pass." And with that, the man says, "All right then. Cheers. You all stay safe. Go Zobeck." And they take to the skies and fly back to the fort.
And we need to be out of here in an hour, guys.
Yeah. What is the fine print? When the effect ends, the target feels repulsed by you and becomes a hostile until the next dawn. Yeah.
We need to be out of here.
Maybe go off the road. Clock yourselves to an hour. Thankfully, because you have vehicles, technically, and horses, you all can make pretty good distance, and you don't hear any telltale signs of griffins flying past you. Several more days of travel after the Griffin night encounter, and the roads begin to grow narrower, rougher, and less traveled. The mountains of the Iron Crags and Duresh loom on either side as you travel near winding trails and rivers. And there is a camp. I'm gonna have you guys, let's say, I don't know who's gonna roll it. Lucian, let's have you roll a 1d3 to see what is happening during whose shift. Ha! That is your shift. How appropriate. And during the night, the campsite, you're setting up camp. Currently, all your compatriots are asleep. Rye has just turned over the watch to you. Everybody has, you've all got little tents. You've got a little, campfire that's now out. You're enjoying your rest. And then my section. Okay. Lucian, you hear the sound of rocks shifting and claws scraping very close by.
Who would be nearest me?
I'm
sitting out by the fire by myself.
Yes. You've got everybody. You're kind of all equidistant, basically. Everybody's got tents, their own little pup tents set up.
Considering Alaric's not on watch, I'd volunteer to be first awoken as our first responder if anything would happen.
Rye doesn't sleep.
I would, if they're very close, I would almost try to take some rocks or pebbles and throw them in the tent or at the tent.
Okay. Just kind of wake everybody up.
Yeah.
Okay. You can start grabbing, rocks and pebbles and throwing them, and you see the ground not too far away from you, just shifting as if something is underneath, clawing its way up. And you are able to, due to the horrendous stealth roll I rolled, alert everybody. Excuse me. You all begin rousing from your sleep. And Lucian, you see huge claws and these small tentacled mouths emerge from a hole, and then it pulls up as a hairy, large, mole-like creature that hefts itself up out of the ground and appears to almost like a sniffing the air action, but it just wiggles its like mouthful of tentacles around, appearing to be looking for a meal. And at the same time, a second creature emerges from behind one of your tents with its tentacles waving hungrily. And once you guys are in place, I'm going to have everybody roll for some initiative. I think you all have dark vision as well. But I will...
Here we go again.
Light your campfire up a little bit, because probably on just a bit. Give it some mood lighting. Your horses are tethered somewhere close by.
Not the horses.
Not the horses. All right, and we can make checks to see to identify what the hell this is. I'm trying to figure out what it is first. Okay. Whoever's turn it is first, which looks like it is Alaric, and again, no surprise round because Lucian was able to identify, or was able to alert all of you. However, those of you who normally don armor, you are not wearing that armor currently. Because you were asleep.
Leather? Does that include leather?
It's a good question. Can you sleep in leather armor without any benefit? Is there a rule about that?
I think leather is permissible, but
I may allow that.
Bahn definitely doesn't sleep in leather armor.
It's only the finest of silks.
Yeah. Pajamas.
It'd be a nature check.
Do you have a problem if I roll initiative at disadvantage for Bahn sleeping?
I don't have a problem with that. No, that seems richly appropriate if you're slow to wake.
Well,
oh,
I keep back. I keep the 17, I guess.
Wow. Alaric, I don't think you had advantage on the roll.
no, it was an accident. Sorry.
Yeah, you just think these are some horrible creature. You have no idea. But they appear to be large, hairy, and hungry. All right, Alaric, you're first.
We are going to go with Operation Stabby Stabby.
Really good call.
I think I've turned advantage off.
25 is pretty damn good.
So
It's,
going for the one immediately to my left.
yeah, that one seems to have crawled around your tent just randomly. And you get a nice skewering, but it appears just more angry than anything else. It's a very upsetting sound. Rye.
Alright, so I step out of the tent, pistol drawn because I heard the noise in the scatter, survey the scene a little bit, and aim my pistol and shoot at number one. $20
20 does hit, yes. And
for 8 piercing.
it's a hell of a crack shot after waking up, but we did mention that you don't sleep much.
And then I look around and make sure that there are. Just try to gather my wits about like survey the scene. I see these two, but I look around to see if there's others.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Still rubbing the sleep out of your eyes.
I'm not that awake.
That's right. You look around for coffee also. This creature in front of you, Alaric, appears to think you are a nice, warm meal and appears to slash at you with its large, frightening claws. Look like they're capable of burrowing as well as rending flesh. Does a 16 hit you without any of your fancy armor on?
Well, with my armor, it doesn't hit me. I wear leather.
Oh, you do wear leather. Oh, okay. Cleric wears leather.
Yep.
And then it tries to go in for the bite. Definitely not going to hit. With these tentacles just kind of sneak in close. But when it gets close, you realize its eyes are just vestigial. It seems to just kind of sense you with its like tentacles.
Well, that kind of rules something out.
Bahn.
So, Bahn's sleeping, and some earth moves, and suddenly there's a gunshot that rings out through the night. And Bahn just like abruptly wakes up, and he's like, "Right,
Fell asleep in the wrong neighborhood again.
And I'm gonna open up my flap, and I'm gonna look out for a second, and I'm gonna see Rye standing there with the pistol smoking. And would you quiet down? I'm still sleeping. And then I'm gonna close the flap. That's gonna be my turn.
I choose to go back to sleep. I respect it so much that to the bit that I have to give you inspiration for that. Kovac.
Alright, I will crawl out of my tent with my sword and scurry up to Bahn's tent and attempt to stab number 2 with my rapier.
I thought he was going to stab Bahn there for a minute.
I wasn't sure you did that.
Coming for you. You will wake up.
Yep, can't blame him.
Oh shit!
Oh,
The
wow.
crit with the new rapier too. Really
and it's a
feeling
sneak
it.
attack.
Oh damn, this is gonna be painful.
Alright, so 13 piercing, and then I don't know how I roll a crit on the.
I think
You
it
can
is.
sneak attack too, right?
Should I just roll it twice?
I think it rolled
Probably
the
have-
crit. I don't think you rolled the sneak attack yet.
Yeah, I didn't hit the right macro. Okay, I'm just gonna do this.
There you
Oh,
go. Almost bare minimum on both sneak attacks. That could have been a devastatingly big blow.
yeah.
That's still a lot of damage for one attack, though. Almost 20 damage. Much to your chagrin, that creature is still alive, but appears to be heavily bloodied after a vicious stab wound. Also, it has to make a save. It's the massive damage. Okay, so you get to roll on the massive damage table
Nice.
before the cops get you. There may be a button on the bottom, or if you can look for... Oh, there you go. Oh, man, the target is stunned.
Dang, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Ooh, get wrecked.
Yeah, that was one that did just go earlier, but it is stunned for its next turn. All right, it is so not killed, but you deals such a heavy blow that it's like just teetering and has little birdies flying around its head. The other one actually charge into a couple of you. Let's go between just Alaric and Rye from here. Alright, this is actually going to charge at you, Rye. Having that gunshot, and in fact that was the one you shot. Will charge and attempt to just go and swipe at you with a large meaty claw. Oh, come on, dog moles. What are you doing to me? And then reach in to bite you with a, beyond its tentacles are vicious mole teeth.
Ooh, it does not hit.
It does not hit, no, both of those attacks. Alright, Lucian.
I'll hit number 1 with a Ray of Frost.
Wow, double 18s. That will definitely hit.
Close.
25.
For 8 cold damage.
Alright, that one is now also looking pretty heavily wounded.
I'll just step back behind this tent. And if it matters, it has 10 foot less movement
Okay.
in case it comes up. But yeah, that's my turn.
Alright, we're back at the top with Alaric.
Stun, so attacking with advantage.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yes.
It is attacking with advantage, yes. My goodness, these attack rolls.
There we go.
8,
Just
alright.
sticking.
It's taking more.
Operation-
Yeah, just sink it.
Operation Pokey Pokey is working.
Operation Pokey Pokey. Alright, that one is stunned for its turn, so it loses its whole turn and just kind of screams angrily in that awful sound. Bahn, you hear action very close to outside of your tent now, including the yells and cries of these strange creatures.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they start to make noise,
Oh, yeah.
like that, then yeah, Bond's gonna grab the whip that he got, that he took from Felicia,
Okay.
and he'll stand outside of it, and he'll kind of he looks even more frail now because he doesn't have the leather armor over or underneath the robe, so like it looks even more just, I don't know, interesting. And I guess he'll just kind of like gruffly, like slowly get up on one knee and then turn to the other side where Kovac is, and just say, this doesn't happen in the city. And let's see.
Did I skip you? I might have skipped you. How did I do that?
When?
After... Yeah, I might have skipped you. We'll get you... We'll go ahead and continue Bond's turn, then we'll go back to Rye. That's
Oh,
my bad.
sorry.
I don't know how that happened. So excited to go to the dog mall again. Keep going. We'll go to Rye after yours.
Okay. I'm trying to double check the blindsider. You have advantage on your attack roll against an enemy within 5 feet of you. It's not within 5 feet of me, but it's stunned still.
It is
Or
no
has
longer
already gone?
stunned.
Okay, so just a normal roll. With a 7, I'm gonna miss,
Yep.
and I'm gonna be like, I'm still getting used to this thing.
Snaps in the air.
But I probably will shift outside of the tent and just move here since I've used half my movement to get up.
Okay. All right, Rye, my apologies. I think I did skip you. Let's go with your turn.
That's no problem. I was paying attention to everything, and I watched it happen too.
We'll do Kovac after Rye.
So I don't have any melee attacks other than a dagger, which is back in the tent. So I'm gonna improvise my pistol as a improvised weapon, and basically just hit it.
Still with
So is that just plus strength? It's just D20 plus strength, right? Or is it
Sal improvised weapon. Full rule for this. Can be treated as so. I would probably treat the object person resident weapon. All right, I would probably treat that as the same as a club, because pistol whipping it can be quite effective.
and so if I'm not proficient in club,
it
that
says
would
a character
be-
proficient with a weapon can use a similar object as if it were that weapon. Because you're pistol whipping with a gun that you are proficient with, I would say you're proficient with just hitting people with the melee. I'd be fine with that.
okay. So D20 plus 2.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
already have 0 strength.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I didn't mean to call you out like that, but you gotta hit that gym, bro. 21 will still hit though. Club is a 1d4
And then,
with plus 0 because you don't have strength.
2 damage.
2 damage. All right, you bop it right on the nose.
All right.
All
That's
right. Now we do Kovac.
All right, I'll do the same thing. Just take another stab at number 2. Let's see if this works. Uh,
19 will certainly hit. For 13, wow. Rogue DPS early game is pretty nice. That creature looks like it's on its last legs now. Its crooning sound starts more like a whimpering.
and I will move to here.
Alright, this one will continue trying to get at you, Rye. With a claw.
Hit.
22 for 8 slashing. Massive meaty
Oh,
claw rakes you. Leans in for a bite and misses terribly as you rock it around for its rending slash. It can't find purchase. Lucian, the one near Alaric, looks almost dead, and then the other one, number 1, looks pretty wounded.
Now I'll continue hitting number 1. To, wash, rinse, repeat.
Yep, 23 will hit for sure.
6 cold.
Okay. Appears to be a little bit slowed, but it's got targets in front of it. Pretty damaged.
And yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Alaric, we're back to you. That'll certainly hit. 23. You guys have barely rolled below 20, I think. 13. Jesus. Max damage. That's rogue numbers, that is. You put one right in its tentacled mouth, and it finally shudders and just drops to the ground. You are muted.
Alright, now that we finished that off, going to slip around and see if we can get in position for this next one to help out Rye.
And Ryan, it is your turn.
All right. I disengage to move backwards. And that was my action.
Okay. Seeing you do that, seeing it's got foes in front of it, and it's slowed, that does effectively... Oh, never mind, that's the other one's turn. Ha! Hold that thought, it is Bahn's turn.
I'll come up to the other side. actually, I guess I have to move here. The whip has 10 feet.
It's a big whip.
Right? Doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does.
I
I thought whip has reach. Is what I thought. Yeah, it has reach. It adds 5 feet when you attack. Let's see what happens now. 22 for 7 slashing damage. And I think what I'm gonna do is sorry, this is new. With that attack and the anger of being woken up in the middle of the night, I'm gonna channel as much pure rage that this kobold can muster. And I'm gonna cast this into the damage. So does it? Oh nope, click the wrong one. I'm sorry. Ignore that one.
So this is like a smite.
Yeah, I meant to click that one. There we go.
Okay.
So 5 more damage. Affects it psychically.
Okay. When you attack it, you just assault it on a psychic level.
Yep.
Your new College of Whispers. All right, as you slash it with the whip, it draws a nasty mark. It kind of turns towards you, but then its like clouded eyes seem to almost grow wide as its brain is assaulted, and it drops down dead.
And then without saying anything, I'll just go back into my tent. And I'll go back to sleep.
Back to sleep. It appears to be clear of enemies, and these appear to be just beasts. Without any rhyme or reason or loot or anything. Once you can get a look at the bodies, some of you may have heard of these kind of creatures that are not uncommonly used in dwarven mines, as sometimes even pack animals, but mainly as tools for digging. But they can also be, known to be wild and roam around. So not necessarily a rare sight on the road, but clearly just an unlucky circumstance that they had to sniff out your camp.
Sorry about that. Who would have thought to check underneath us?
So you all can continue your rest. Like I said, you get the benefits of a short rest at night on the road. I will take you back to our main map. I'm basically just saying that in case, Rye, you wanted to roll
Hit die or something.
hit die, yeah. I think you were the only one that actually got hit.
Yeah, well, I'm going to.
Yep.
You said somebody gave us a potion of healing, right? Or am I making that up?
Yes.
Yeah.
As part of your rescue payment, whatever, Melancha did give all of you a potion of healing.
Okay. I need to put that in my inventory.
All right. And you continue on the next day, and after several more days of montage travel, the valley widens into the shining jewel of the Iron Crags, known as Gunnex. Famed merchants and exporters of iron, limestone, and other materials, the wealthy dwarven canton is bustling with trade, though everyone still gives your group the side eye. But this is a chance, if you wanted to stop and pay to actually stay at a place, this would be your chance to long rest. So, my apologies to Rye, I just made you roll short rested dice.
Okay, he gets it back.
It's
You can get it back.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, it would cost you 1 gold each to stay at a just general traveler's inn.
Sounds
Is there a-
reasonable.
Is there a nicer room? Can I upgrade?
Well, you can always upgrade. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can pay up to 5 gold for a room.
I'll do it.
All right. Only the
Um,
nicest.
Any
Uh,
bottles of liquor available?
Oh, please. This is a dwarven city, my friend. There are
Exactly why we're
always
asking.
beer and liquor at very reasonable prices.
How much for a bottle?
We're going to say probably 5 silver.
Awesome.
You guys can enjoy some pretty nice hospitality. This is a very lovely location. It's overlooking a beautiful valley. Even those of you that are not familiar with the dwarves, the Iron Crags, know that this is, if you're going to visit kind of the dwarven homelands, this is the place to go. It's easily accessible, generally the friendliest, the best location, maybe the best beers. Certainly people from Gunnex would tell you that. But it is not your ultimate destination. So after staying here, getting a nice long rest, so you do all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Is it possible?
Yes.
I don't know if you can come up with anything. Is it possible to like schmooze with other people through the evening and like pick up any rumors or any other like goings on in the area?
Sure. The main topic of everyone's mind is that they've always had a contentious relationship with Dorish, which is part of the Greater Duchy of Morgau, the Blood Kingdom. So there's essentially been a constant, not even a cold war, like literally dwarves will do raiding parties to go into Dorish. They're basically at active, everybody's basically at active war with the Blood Kingdom. And recently, you get the feeling that the undead activity has increased as of late. Specifically, probably over the last like a month or so. There's been more ghoul patrols, just more undead threats, and more of them coming in, closer to even like Gunnex, and usually they don't get anywhere near that. And the dwarves, and especially the place you're going to, Gristle, are very zealously devoted to defending the dwarven area of Iron Crags from the undead. They consider themselves like the stalwart bastion, the shield between the Blood Kingdom and the Iron Crags. And it's very worrisome to the rest of the dwarves that they've had undead patrols spotted even beyond where Gristle is. So it almost feels like maybe Gristle isn't starting to be able to keep up with it. Or maybe they're just... there's also rumors that perhaps the undead are just more crafty and just kind of spreading around, but nobody seems to know any kind of rhyme or reason. And what you pick up is just a lot of the usual rumors where people have all these wild theories and ideas, but nobody seems to have a clear idea of what's going on. But the one constant is that there is more undead as of late.
Great, yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Also, while we're traveling and Bahn's in the wagon, as much as possible, he's messing with the alchemist supplies that he's got. And just, occasionally that's what he's spending most of his downtime doing. And since he's not taking any watches and not doing any of the work and traveling, that's the majority of what he's doing right now.
Sure.
Sounds safe.
Chemicals while I'm driving a wagon.
Pum, yeah. Spilling shit everywhere. Smelling awful back there.
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic.
There's acid holes in the bottom of the.
Yeah. Good thing we bought it and not leasing it.
That's right.
All fun and games till that alchemist fire goes off in the back.
Yeah, there's just a little black spot of an explosion. Where'd Bahn go?
He was just here.
And then you guys can set out towards Gristle, and you imagine at this point you've been traveling for probably almost the 2-week mark. So you think it's maybe another 4 or 5 days to get to Gristle, your final destination. And just as you guys set off, I think it actually might be a good time to take a break. And then we will resume our travel. Let's break for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we shall return with more Empire of the Ghouls.
All right.
All right. If we are coming back from our break. Wife is currently in the other voice channel talking to Chris about the one shot happening tomorrow. She's making her character.
I saw that. Yeah. It's fun.
I've been little peas in a pod, and I am excited and terrified about her character as usual. All right, so you all are leaving Gunnex and heading north.
I'd like to if the night before,
Yeah.
I would like to cast Aid. But I would ask the group who would it benefit the most. I can catch 3 of us with that.
Bahn is in his marble laid bath, like he's yeah. It's like he's sucking up, so he's not even in the room.
Just knock on the door and it's like, now!
Would you like some aid?
Unless you're room service, go away!
Room
Yes.
service.
Yeah, for sure. So everybody else can fight over it.
Mind refreshing
it'd
your
be good.
memory what aid does.
Yeah.
I'll post it.
The hit point.
Gives you 5. Yeah, 5. They're not even they're not even temporary hit points. They're fillable.
Billable hit points.
Because I am going to extend spell with that. So we get it for the next 8 hours, and then I get my full rest, and I can get my spell slot back. And have 8 up for the following day.
Okay.
I won't turn 5 hit points down.
Okay. Who else wants it? Squishy or the
Raw is kind of squishy.
All right.
You want to take one for yourself?
Do that, or if you feel
Well, I'm going to be up front, but
You're
I'm
gonna
not
be
too
up-
squishy.
all right, I'll take it.
Famous last words.
All right. After a little bit of buffing, and finally, Bahn, you have to sadly leave your nice accommodations.
Back on the road.
Back on the road. You all head out from the lovely Gunnex and have to travel another couple days, and about maybe 2/3 of the way there, after the sun has begun to set and you are all thinking, dinner time, campsite, you spot a group of humanoids up ahead. And from the distance you're at, which is about maybe 50 to 60 feet, they appear to be crouching over a couple of bodies near the side of the road.
Turn around.
From their behavior, can I do an insight check to see if I can figure out if they're ghouls or not?
From this distance, it would have to be a perception check.
Okay. Take a shot at it.
I would like to do the same, but
Nope.
James, can you try turning down your gain thing again? Get some feedback. Yeah, you can.
it's as low as it goes.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Can I also make a check to see if I can see these humanoids?
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, Kovac, from your position on the driver's seat of the wagon, which is nicely elevated over the horse, it does appear that several of them are at least appear to be either clawing at the bodies and then into their mouths, or carving into the bodies. At the moment, they don't seem to have they seem very intent on their whatever they're doing. I don't seem to have noticed you.
I'll hold up my hand, whisper to the group. Looks like ghouls up ahead.
Is there a way around?
That is what we are here for.
Well, as soon as Alaric hears ghouls, and we're 60 feet out, I will do Reaper and double cast Chill Touch. Hit 2 of them.
Just going right off.
Aim on.
Okay. While the rest of you try to decide if you're going around or not, or what's going to happen, Alaric immediately bursts forward with a spell to cast a pretty effective Chill Touch at the 2 nearest targets who are... They have to be within 5 feet, I believe.
Yeah, they have to be next to each other.
Okay. You can definitely find targets to do that.
And my range on Chill Touch is 120 feet, so I don't even have to approach. I can be 60 feet back and hit.
Okay.
So
you can do that as a surprise round for sure. All right, and that looks like the ghostly skeletal hand does kind of almost tap them on the shoulder to alert their presence.
it grabs them by the scuff of the neck and just pulls them up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely damaging 2 of them, and at the same time, they all turn and give off a hissing sound. One of them, you notice, has been kind of standing to the side, like overseeing this, with an almost bored expression. It appears to be dressed like a normal person, and just standing there and looks at all of you. But then, as this ghostly hand comes in, like attacks, this figure turns around and immediately starts saying words in a language that I don't think any of you know. But I guess what languages already have it? Is there anything that's not the usual language?
It's not on my sheet, but I speak Umbral for
Okay.
the Shadow Fae, and then Elvish Undercommon.
What does that even say?
Kovac, you speak Darakul?
Yep.
All right. I want to ask where you learned that, but your ears twitch and you instantly hear the language of the Ghoul Imperium as this figure seems to bark out an order and says, "Fools, near the road, as others, kill them." And as I put you on the map, we will roll for some initiative. As I mentioned, some of them appear to be actual feasting on the bodies, while others appear to just be carving into them.
And this is daytime, nighttime.
It's kind of twilight.
Okay.
And I've tried to replicate that by turning daylight mode on, but lowering the actual illumination. But I don't know how well that shows up on Roll20.
I only ask because there's something that I have that I keep forgetting to use, but it's only when I'm darkness, dim light, or in a shadow.
Okay, I would say you are probably dim light would be considered these conditions right now.
Okay.
Can you guys see on this map? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like bright as day to me.
Yeah, I don't think the illumination thing is barely working.
My dark vision is 90 feet, by the way.
Oh, right. Okay. Update your token on that. So yeah, it might look daylight, but just pretend it's like dusk, basically.
Yeah, but with the Path of Shadows, I can Misty Step in those conditions.
Gotcha. Okay. You think conditions are perfect for that? Full initiative for all my lovelies.
And my normal itchy trigger finger has failed me.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, you got the jump on him with the initial surprise, and you'll be some of these initiatives are pretty damn high though.
I think I missed the initiative roll. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
all right. Go ahead and do it. I think I missed it. I think I'll go first. All right. Yeah, we've got Bahn reacting first. And
You
from a
said I
distance.
hit 1 and 2.
Yes.
Okay,
Red 1 and 2.
gotcha.
Who, at least from the appearance, just appear to be human, but they do seem to have blood like dripping from their mouths.
I'll give Lucian a bardic inspiration. And how deep does the water look in the creek to the right?
Here it's probably not very. Maybe it goes 5 feet or something, but a horse could definitely cross here. You've been following. There's been a river that's been following along, but it's definitely slowed down to a little bit of a creek, as you said.
I'll hold my action to see if maybe. I'm sorry. I really don't know what's happening in the. Kovac, you stopped, and it looks like you're gonna hop off the horse or the reins.
Yes.
Oh no, I don't want Rye behind me. It's the main thing that I'm trying to avoid, and I don't want to lose the wagon either. I'm gonna take over the reins. So that's what I'll do. I'll take over the reins.
He's
on my
attached a bomb to the cart now.
Yeah.
That's what he's been doing this whole time, just wiring the cart.
turn. Yeah. I'll take over the reins. That's what I'm gonna do on my turn.
Okay. All right, Lucian.
All right, I'm gonna hop off the wagon, and I'm gonna cast web on that mess of
Oh,
people
boy.
up there.
Open spell I can use. Let's see.
And I had cast mage armor when I got up in the morning,
Of course.
so
Okay. Can you put it in the chat so I can see the
oh yeah, sure.
size?
20-foot cube.
Cute. 10 foot. That's a 15 foot, and that is a 20-foot cube. Give you control so you can put it. Okay, you should be able to control it, and you can drop it wherever you wish.
If that's the edge of my vision, I mean, I would have to step up, or
I
from
mean,
what I see, or
you can, as long as you put the middle where you
Or-
can see, I think you're fine.
okay.
You just have to see probably the middle point.
All right.
And as long as it's within 60 feet of
That's-
you, that's the range on the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
you're good there.
Yeah, I had checked it. Yep. That looks like a good spot as any.
Okay. Alright, so webs spill out across most of them. Difficult terrain, lightly obscure the area. can lay it on the floor. And it is a DC 15 dex save for every creature that starts or enters there, and they are restrained. Okay. Back. All right. So we gotta start doing that. This one needs to make a dex save, and again, appears to just be a human. Oh man, immediately gets caught in the sticky webs. Let's see, and is restrained. Then it can use its action to break free. Or, how bad is restrained? Disadvantage on attack rolls. That's a bummer. It tries to fumble with a crossbow. And even though it's got sticky shit all over its hands, and just kind of mutters and tries to shoot you with a crossbow that it pulls out, but has disadvantage because it is
I would have moved behind the cart. By the
restrained. Okay, I can give you cover, half cover for that. I think it's +2.
Okay.
AC. With disadvantage and your +2 AC. Ooh. Still rolled a 20.
I'll shield it.
Okay. Shield goes up, magical force field, and even though he had a hell of a good shot despite all the disadvantages, mutters.
Oh, wait a minute. No, meets it, beats it. So it doesn't matter.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, right. If it's a tie, I would do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So your base is a 15 with mage armor? Okay. Yeah, so hold the shield. Alright, and it shoots, ooh, for 8 piercing with a crossbow bolt.
Oh no, I got +2, so that I had a 17, correct?
You're right.
Yep.
We forgot all our
I would
modifiers.
have shielded it. You definitely shielded it.
You're right. All right, you got the cover correct. I forgot about that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, we'll figure it out. All right, so the shield does come up with the cover, all of the benefits, even with disadvantage, does it just barely miss. Creature mutters.
Ooh.
And yeah, and then the one who is fully dressed and looks kind of like just a person, you know, yells out, "They've got spellcasters. Target them and destroy them." This one also has to make... This one just looks like a more feral ghoul, which I've seen before. Dex save. So if your spell save is 15, that does actually make the save. And that one will run up to you all. 20, 25, 30, and it will gleefully dash as its action to basically just get right up to you and your horse, Alaric, very menacingly. Another one has to make the dex save. Did not have disadvantage, but a 13 will not do it, so that one is also restrained. And we'll basically do... Well, seeing your shield comes up, because shield lasts until...
My next turn.
Your next turn, yeah. So seeing that... Dude does have a little bit of intelligence enough to know that the odds of him hitting you are not great. So he will choose between, let's do Kovac. Alaric is the most obvious. Try to shoot at Kovac, but with disadvantage because he is restrained. And misses terribly. Can barely even pull the crossbow out. Alright, Kovac.
Alright, I'm gonna hop off the wagon and run up to this one on Alaric and try to stab him with my rapier.
.23 will definitely hit. Ooh. For 18. All right. You do extra because it's undead, right? 40.
24 damage.
24 damage. Your rapier glows with a holy bright light as it just plunges into that ghoul's back, and the ghoul gives off a screaming whimper and just dies right away from that. And you hear again that one figure in the back yell, and satisfyingly, and you hear it in the Darakul language, Kovac, and he says, "Dawnblade!"
I think you kind of see him light up from the inside, so you can see like he's glowing and all his bones in there, like an X-ray.
Yeah. I love it. Just light like cooks him on the inside. Smoking coming off the corpse. Alright, the third one needs to make a dex save. Can any of these guys? No, they cannot. Golly, that's a bummer. This time, this one will actually use its action to attempt to escape. Raise the webs until it breaks free. Its action, make a strength check against your spell save DC. Okay. So it will just try to use its action to make the strength check, which it is miserably fails. It gets absolutely just tussled in its own. Its hands slick with blood as all three of them are just restrained in the web, caught like spiders. This ghoul is the only creature to not be caught, and it rushes 30. Unfortunately, can't reach it. Has to, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It will just dash to get up to you, Kovac. Alright, then we've got this figure, whom has been quite verbal as of late, and now has kind of dropped the facade. You can see he had was trying to appear human, but given the language, the mannerisms, and the fury, you actually see that there does appear to be a ghoul simply maybe masquerading as a person. Which all of you have heard of the Ghoul Imperium, an entire kingdom of intelligent ghoul known as the Darakul, who have built their own sunless kingdom in the underground. And they had formed the alliance with the vampires of the Blood Kingdom to help invade Krakovar. I think I pronounce that every time differently. But haven't really heard much of them in the years since. And now you're beginning to see them more, and certainly don't see them much on the surface.
Does
Not
this
like-
guy kind of look like Boris?
Um,
Cool.
Boris, he looks a lot, this ghoul looks a lot more intelligent and sophisticated, actually, even than Boris. Boris would be like a grunt, and this guy would be like a general. Give layman's terms. However, he still has to make the dex save. Goodness. The killer. And he will... Let's see. Can burn these webs right, but it does damage. Fire burns away in one round. 2d4 damage grid starts from the fire. Yeah. Annoyingly, he will just try to spend his action and try to break free. Rolls are not doing me any favors, though, as he mutters and just gets the sticky web all over him. Appears to be extremely annoyed by all of this. Rye.
Alright, so knowing that the musket's gonna like frighten this horse, I get down off the horse and I kind of like pat it so that the horse kind of goes a little bit and moves away on its own, which I can't grab the horse, so I guess it's okay. Can I cross the water or no?
Sure. Yeah, it's not very deep. You can cross it without any kind of check.
then I would like to come over here and then take aim on this one with my musket.
And I should remind you all, you have riding horses, not war horses. Just throwing that out there, but that is a good call that you jumped off the horse.
But I didn't want to. I don't hate horses.
Yeah.
Oh, but maybe I got it wet when I walked through the river.
Shaking off the water.
Or maybe I'm wet. I can't decipher. But anyway, I missed.
Things are slipping around a little bit.
And as my bonus action, I reload it for next time.
Alaric.
I'm going to move up to help my friend Kovac here. But before I do that, while I'm still on my horse, I'm going to do another Reaper. I'm going to go for our Fancy Ghoul and number 3.
Yep.
And since they're all no longer moving, I have advantage on them.
Yes, they all are restrained.
So.
We need the attack roll, not the. There you go. Both hit. You want to go after the big guy and number 3, or which ones?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, big guy number 3. Number 3 will be the 8. Big guy's number 4. Do them in order.
What you notice is the Darakul, the necrotic damage doesn't seem to affect him that much.
Okay.
It does affect him a little bit. It does deal some damage, but not as much as you were expecting to deal.
Okay.
Against the human, though, it does full damage.
All right.
He glares at you and says something in his tongue, which
Nod to Kovac.
yeah, Kovac, you hear it, and he kind of spits it out, and even from a distance, he spits out like filthy half-breed mongrel. Bahn.
Can he tell I'm a half-breed?
If it's possible, can I try to move the wagon 10 to 15 feet up the trail?
It would probably have to take an action if you're going to drive the wagon. But as long as you're not driving the horse into danger, then I wouldn't actually make you roll a check for it.
Yeah. We don't have it tied off, and I don't want to walk.
I really don't want to leave this wagon, guys.
The risk of me moving myself up to do what I want to do, it's tough. Okay, so the reason I'm asking these questions is what I'd like to try to do is cast Fairy Fire. It says each object in a 20-foot cube within range. Range is 60 feet. I think I am currently right at the cusp of that.
Okay.
So if that's a point in range and then it extends 20 feet, am I abusing it, or is it 20 feet and it bumps back automatically because it's past range? I don't know that answer.
I'm just gonna, I don't know it either, but I would rule that as long as the middle of the AoE is the point, is that point, then it can technically it can extend beyond that.
So you can see my ruler, right?
Yes.
So if I cast it 60 feet and cast it basically right there,
That's the
then
middle.
a
That's the middle
20-foot
point.
cube-
Yep.
A 20-foot cube should get them
Sure.
all with Fairy Fire, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, I cast Fairy Fire then.
Okay. More deck saves.
That is
which
correct.
I think restrained. Have disadvantage on deck saving throws. Which means I don't think I can use my macro, because I don't know if that'll ask me to use. So we'll do this the old-fashioned way. So this is the Darakul. Fail, and then we'll do 3 quick roll.
restrained, they automatically fail dexterous.
It says they have
No,
disadvantage
no,
on
yeah,
dex
no.
saves.
Yeah.
Got the ruler open, that's why I can't select them.
Oh, yeah, the list of. Yeah. I can't read. I'm very sorry.
All good. All right, this is number. I'll go on 3, 2, 1.
I love it. So
3,
good so far.
2. The disadvantage is a
going.
fucking killer and a half.
Keep going.
Man, just laying on the debuffs. All right, so
What
now
color
they
glitter
are
using Bahn.
they're restrained and lit up.
I think violet is what I'm still going with.
All right.
Every single one of
And I'll be
them.
like, right, maybe you can shoot them better now.
I can see them now.
That's true. They all light up, don't they? Dim light in a 10-foot radius. Lucian.
All right, and step around the wagon.
Just light up. I don't think you guys can tell anyway.
We can. Yeah, because they're just outside of my dark vision, so like that just lit up.
Okay.
Sure did.
Yeah, that's good. Since I don't have to worry about them moving too much, I'm gonna pull out my light crossbow, and I'll shoot number. Well, no, if I can see the leader, I'm gonna shoot him. Cool. I'm gonna use Bahn's inspiration. That's a D6.
Sorry, I'm not on that screen. It is a D6. Yes.
11.
Does not hit. This one appears to be, unlike most of the undead you faced, he is wearing full armor. Like adventuring gear armor.
Well, I don't know how much easier I can make it. I lit them up. I told you how to do it.
Oh yeah, I get advantage. Oh no, I got it. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Jesus. Yep. And then I went move 15 and right back where I was. That will end my turn.
All right. So do they don't get to repeat the save, right? It's just a question of having to make it on there.
It says when he starts his turn, right?
Yeah, when you start your turn, you get to make it again.
Okay.
Or
No, it says on a failed save, the
Or no,
creature is
no, no, no.
restrained as long as it remains in the webs or until it breaks free.
yeah, for the duration.
Yeah, so a creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make a strength check. So they have to use their action to break out. Question becomes, do they want to attack with their disadvantaged crossbows or try to break out? They are still going to be trying, now that they've got multiple spellcasters at them, they're still going to be trying to hit with their sticky crossbows. They've all tried to break out unsuccessfully. And we've got 2 targets. So let's just say, in terms of they're definitely going after the spellcasters. Bahn.
Bring it.
Getting shot with a disadvantaged crossbow. What would have been a crit is instead a miss. Due to the restrain. That's the dead ghoul. Need to pull him off. This one will also determine who it's fighting. Which is Lucian this time. Another nasty disadvantage crossbow shot does not go off. We go to Kovac.
All right. Oops. I'm gonna run up here, and Alaric is under ghoul number 2, right?
On top of, but
Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Yes.
Okay, sweet. I'll stab at number 1 with my rapier. And pack tactics.
.24 does hit for sure.
16 radiant.
Like in the undead, I think.
And you get your undead bonus.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. There's no limit to that, right? It's just every time, or does it have some kind of limit
Let me click it.
for the? Yeah. Did a creature shows. All right, just says magically change the extra damage dealt. Yeah. I guess just every time you hit an undead creature
With a sneak
shadow.
attack.
Okay.
So he takes an extra point of damage.
So 17.
Yep.
This one appears to be a little bit hardier and does survive that blow.
And I will use my
It's an
bonus
insides
action to fire a radiant beam at number 1.
Boy. Then 30 feet of you. You bastard. Yep.
Right.
Ranged weapon attack against the second creature. Man, he's just showing off all of his skills now. All right, 22 does hit. Yeah, we're all learning what he can do. Deals 26 radiant damage. Okay, so as you shoot and flare up the insides of that ghoul, a beam of holy light just shoots out and kind of hits this dude for a few damage.
About the pamphlets you had there, Kovac.
I want to have lasers.
That was a timeshare.
This one will try to break off now that he sees Kovac like shooting lasers. He wants to get in there and fuck you up, but it's gonna take a strength check, and it's not gonna happen. The ghoul will turn to its latest attacker, which is Kovac, and attempt to slice into you with its claws. There's an attack. Almost a crit. That was a 19. Oh boy, I guess we rolled double ones on the damage. 4 slashing damage, but it does trigger Alaric's favorite save. DC 10 con save or become paralyzed. Oh! Wow. Another one. Can't make the save on that one.
You stepped up to try to help.
Yeah, you were paralyzed for a minute, but you can repeat the save at the end of each of your turns.
Here we go. It's starting.
It's starting. The Darakul is wondering why he doesn't have a ranged weapon and will attempt to break out of the webs. Curses! I left my crossbow at home.
Left it on the kitchen table.
I left it right in the kitchen. Oh, thank goodness. He rips out of the webs. It does take his action to do that, however. At least no longer restrained. And even though he is fully dressed and armored, he kind of lopes frighteningly. You know, you see a normal-looking figure walking, but then he kind of lopes almost on all fours like a ghoul running at you, snarling angrily. And in his one hand, he seems to have a like a curved axe-type weapon.
All of it glowing slightly violet.
Yes, all of it glowing violet. 30. He can make it as far as here. He says, "Get," in that language only Kovac can understand. "Get free, you fools." Go to Rye.
Okay. I see him come out and headed towards a paralyzed Kovac.
Mm-hmm.
So I cast Magma Spray exactly where he is.
Alright, share that one with the class.
Well, so
Oh boy, it's a fountain
A
of lava.
5-foot diameter fountain of lava erupts where he is. 3d8 fire damage, which is 11.
Oh yeah, you rolled it there. Successful dex saving throw. Okay. It's like he stepped on a fucking landmine, like running towards you guys. All right, dex. Now he's no longer restrained. I don't think. Does Fairy Fire do anything to his dexes, or does it just make you guys have advantage
No.
on them?
Just advantage.
Just normal as dex save. Oh my goodness. Just, he's still got like sticky shit trailing him. So he takes a full 11 fire damage.
All those webs are now on fire on him. It's great.
Yeah, all the webbing is now officially burned off of him. Couldn't have done that when I was in the webs.
And then he takes that
turn.
damage again when he starts his turn.
Well, it says enters the area or ends its turn there.
Yeah, okay.
So
I should read all of it.
probably
Okay.
that's a running joke we have with my group too. We only read halfway. But yeah, so if he doesn't move, he'll take that damage again. But he does see a fountain of lava erupting beneath him at the moment, so most likely he will
Okay,
move.
so I still concerned for Kovac. I am going to spend 2 sorcery points, quicken a spell, and as a bonus action, cast Firebolt. Because it's not a leveled spell, so I can do
Gotcha.
Firebolt.
I was,
And that's with advantage, right?
yes, with the Fairy Fire, correct. Oh,
Uh,
4 and a 3, jeez.
You're all wasting it.
Yeah, you just it's very fancy looking, but it's a little too quick. You erupt the lava beneath, and you roll your other hand over and shoot, and it looks cool, but his shots go a little bit wide. I was entranced by the end of the spell. A creature's hit points are reduced to 0 by this damage is killed immediately, and its body burns to ash. Like, all right, spell, calm down.
Ease up.
Yeah. Jeez.
all right. And that is my turn. There's nothing else I can do.
All right. Alaric, currently there's a fountain of lava spewing beneath this larger, more intelligent ghoul. Has got his eyes set on all of you, and then you've got still the one more feral, less intelligent ghoul right in front of you.
Yeah, I've got to take care of him before I can deal with anybody else. So
Mhm.
got to save.
If we
my buddy
could get
Kovac.
him to not move as well, right? If we could restrain him or...
We could shove him.
I would say webs, but the webs are just burned.
I don't think I have advantage.
I was
on
about to
that.
ask.
No, but I will burn my inspiration for it.
Okay.
To do another roll, if that's all right.
Yes.
And let's try that again. That's better.
That is better. 22 will hit.
And that's better.
Yeah, you put it right in the side of the head of that ghoul who has its licking its chops over the paralyzed rat. Now it falls dead.
And then I'm going to. You said it's only his square, or how far?
It's only a square. It's a 5 foot.
5 foot.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 5 foot diameter. So that is just the square. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to move up to try to protect Kovac.
Derek Cool, more like Derek Fool.
Oh. I mean,
Wisdom
oh. That one, the ghoul actually turns and sneers and seems to understand the common tongue. Says, kobolds, it's more than food.
I cast.
Oh, sorry, I was scrolled up. I completely missed that.
No,
I thought we were just zinging with each other. All right.
I noticed that there was a.
I thought we were entering a vicious poetry slam battle here.
That's right. That's right.
Bahn's got a little more spice on his, though.
Wisdom say, oh no. His saves have not been kind.
4 damage.
So it does seem to have a single tear roll down his cheek. Which I think that does actually give him disadvantage, right? Advantage on the next attack roll it makes for the end of its next turn. Alright, you guys are all going to have to collectively remind me of that, because his turn isn't for a little bit.
I always forget that part of it.
Yeah. I only know because Chris has been using that cantrip quite a few times before. Anything else?
Nope. It's my turn.
Alright, Lucian.
You said that guy's wearing full plate.
It's not plate, but it's definitely
Or-
like probably like medium armor.
Oh, medium.
I think. Off the top of my head, it's. I mean, I could tell you, but that might be a little too much information.
Still, he looks like he can hit hard. I'm gonna come around here. And with my Fey touched, I'm gonna use my free casting of Dissonant Whispers on him.
Oh.
Oops. I didn't mean to do that. The wisdom saving throw.
Well.
I start singing my Krakowian lullaby again.
Saves have not been on my side, but let's see. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've rolled above 10 on these saving throws. Brutal. Roll me some damage. Must use its reaction to move as far away as its speed allows. Takes a full 12. Psychic
Which generates
damage.
An attack of the top opportunity.
It will, yeah. So he just goes straight backwards.
And doesn't he leave the area for the eruption thing? Wasn't there something
Yep.
about that?
I think if he enters or ends his turn there,
I'm trying to go back up to read it.
if a creature enters the area on its turn or ends its
Or-
turn there, which he was already in the area, if somehow you force him to cross bang into it, I mean, I can put a little symbol there if you want to keep. Let's see, got a. It's like a lava token. There we go.
As he turns to run for Krakova.
Oh my gosh, 12, yeah, mighty swing. You guys have dealt a bunch of damage, but he is still up. But has to run backwards, just blanches for a second and turns and flees. And almost looks like he's got memories of the war. Okay.
Come back there with my final 10 feet and end my turn.
Guys are still dealing with the webs, so they will. Let's see. They do have a chance to attack a paralyzed rat, which is interesting because attack rolls against him have advantage. That would cancel it out, but I don't get the auto crit because I'm not within 5 feet. But they would notice that Kovac is still paralyzed. So, and these do appear to be decently intelligent.
They still got. No, that was just that one. Sorry.
So, if they attack Kovac specifically, I believe there's no advantage or disadvantage there. They will attempt to shoot you with a crossbow. This one, number 2, Kovac.
Miss.
15, still a miss. And number 3 will do the same. Oh my good golly. All the advantage doing it, and they still miss. And finally, the one who would just Dissonant Whispered turns to him and says, "No, idiots, spellcasters." But Kovac. Let's see how that works. So you're still paralyzed, but you can repeat the save at the end of your turn. It is a DC 10 con save. Try and shake off the... Oh, boy.
I'm going to use inspiration.
Okay.
There we go.
Good use of it. Shake off. Paralyzing effect. Having crossbows go whizzing past you. Bolts.
That'll inspire you to make a save.
Mm-hmm. That is the end of your turn, though, isn't it? Because the end of the turn. Yep. All right, so you're no longer paralyzed, though. This one, once again, we'll just keep trying to break out. Figure one of them should. They are just hilariously locked in place. These poor bastards. And they're not, like, weak. I mean, they appear to be strong enough to do it. Web is, yeah. That one web, holy guacamole.
Yeah. I accidentally gave my players a wand of web at one point, and I was like, what did I do?
I don't think I've ever seen web used this effectively, where it's like really shut down like a whole group the whole time. Alright. Darakul has run back 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You know, this is interesting, because the only way he can attack the fucking nearest person from this point is if he runs through this lava pit. But he doesn't want to fucking do that. That's crazy. Instead, he is going to dash and just. I guess he's gonna. I'm trying to think. There's no way he can. I guess he could always use an action to just free one person from a web. That doesn't seem. I'll scroll to where web is.
I can post it again if you need to.
Oh yeah,
You have to step into the web to get to him.
Yeah, that's also a problem. Use its action. Didn't even say another creature can do it though. He doesn't care. All right, oh, sorry, you're all pointing out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, you're right. He can go around. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, he can just reach Alaric without stepping into this stupid lava.
Sorry, Alaric.
Yeah. All right, he again, he does that weird, creepy, loping run that instantly makes you think that this is not a human. And clearly you've seen that he is actually a ghoul, and he even was wearing like a wig before, and that wig has since fallen off, and you can see his creepy countenance. Kind of red eyes and a greenish, grayish skin tone. And he...
Is this the end of his next turn? Does he have disadvantage on this one because of the... mockery?
Right, this is his first attack, so I think he just has disadvantage on it. Is it all attacks or for the next attack? Okay,
Just
so
the
disadvantage
next
on this next attack.
yeah.
All right, thank you. So against Alaric, he has disadvantage, and he will try to swing that kind of curved axe. It's a war pig, but, you know. Looks cooler than that. With disadvantage... Oh, man, game, why are you doing this to me? Just teasing these 20s. Teasing them! He snarls at you, Alaric, and with his other free hand just swipes at you with those long, ghoulish claws. This time, a normal attack. Oh! Thank you.
No. No. And he has to be a ghoul. Has to be a ghoul.
Of course he's a ghoul. Not just any ghoul, a Darakul.
Yep.
All right, he critically swipes at you, snarling with all the rage of his webbed brothers. For 15 plus 10 slashing damage.
Yeah.
I rolled max fucking damage on that first roll. Just like
Alaric's
that,
down.
shit got serious.
Oh man.
Yeah, Alaric's
With
down.
one blow.
Yep. Felt really good about blocking that war pick, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Even with the aid?
eight's not up.
That's we went 2
Oh.
days.
That was days ago. Yeah, even with the 8, I'd be down.
Oof.
That's 25 points of damage. So yeah, I'm down.
All right. Since you are down, I don't think you have to make the paralyzed roll. You just have the unconscious state.
Do you want a con save for massive damage?
Yeah. I mean,
Or just see if I live through this?
I think if you go down to 0, that kind of overrides any massive damage trauma that you would receive. I mean, going unconscious is kind of the worst.
Okay.
Because most of the massive damage is like
It's
you're
worse than
stunned.
stunned.
Yeah. The only one that might change is the
You don't
fact
have any
that
reactions.
yeah, exactly. I think there's one in there that like the attacker actually gains health, but if you go down to 0, I'm not going to bother.
Okay.
What about the Darkwool Fever?
Oh yeah, I'm just reading that now.
Well, and that was the thing. I was like, as a player, I probably shouldn't know what happened, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Right. If the creature's paralyzed, 2 rounds, victim falls, at least 2 saving throws. Can be during second. The creature contracts. Oh, I forgot I could do this with his claws. Okay, go ahead and give me the con save then. This does kind of matter. This could really change the context of the story. Okay.
Finally.
Yeah. A successful con save.
Finally.
All right. You at least withstand any vicious effects of the claws. And as you
Other than the
go...
25 points of damage of vicious effects.
When he claws at you, yeah, and you sink down, he grabs your... as you kind of falter, he grabs your neck, almost like you did with the chill touches, and just kind of squeezes and shoves you to the ground, and you can just feel his like stinking breath down there. He says, I smell Krakovar upon you. Finish what we started. And that is all it do for now. Right, things have changed somewhat.
Things have changed. I'm gonna take aim and shoot him again. Still with advantage because still fire fire, right?
Correct.
See if I can hit this dude. 15.
No. Not with that armor he's wearing.
That is very sad.
You take a very nice shot that looks and it just like ding, like ricochets off, and you can see fluttering under that jacket of his is a pretty nice suit of armor.
Alright. Bonus action be there.
Alaric, I need a death save.
Ooh.
That is our first fail. Put it on the board. Bahn, you have seen your cleric friend go down after a single swipe of this boss that you have kept at bay for so long.
I've got the reins. I'm turning around. No. So with none of the threats like moving forward, the horse being predominantly still, Bahn will hop off the wagon and pull out his rapier.
Oh, it was in the hero mode.
And I think I'm trying to read if I have to use. I still don't understand Psychic Blades totally. So the first thing that I'll do is I will cast Healing Word on Alaric as I'm running up toward him. So I need to click a button for that. Which seems pretty chunky.
That's
healing.
a nice healing word.
Yeah. And then he'll say, no laying down on the job. And so the wording with Psychic Blades says I have to use Bardic Inspiration. But it says that it's part of my weapon attack?
Well, you're just expending Bardic Inspiration to do it. So instead of
and
using
it's not
like
a bonus action though, right? Like that's what I'm trying to double check. Like, I don't want to piggyback the bonus action from Healing Word. It doesn't seem to say that.
No, you're correct.
Action.
Yeah, I don't think it actually takes a bonus action.
So what I'll do is I'll take the
because I don't think the
rapier.
Paladin Smite. Sorry, I don't think the Paladin Smite does either. I think this is literally just like the Bard version of the Smite, but instead of using shit.
So I crit him back.
Ah, yes you do.
And then
Bahn gets the crit with the Fairy Fire.
We'll also do another Psychic Blades.
That's 20 damage. 26 damage. Oh yeah, because Psychic Blades crits, doesn't it? Holy crap. Bahn is pissed off. He's pissed because he had to walk under his own weight. You forced him into this.
And that's the end of my turn. I can't do anything else.
Alright, for 26 damage. This creature is still up, but now you see, finally, satisfyingly, fear flicker in his eyes, and he appears to be sagging and coughing up blood. You also notice that just being near him causes your eyes to water, and just an upsetting stench coming off of him.
Ah, you reek.
Mm-hmm. Lucian.
Does he take massive damage?
Oh shit, correct, thank you.
Nice.
Well, he has to make the con save, but
You know how
of course
those
he's
work.
not gonna make that save. We know he's not gonna do that. Roll on that massive damage table for me. This could be a very big deal.
Do I just click that?
Yep, that would be the bummer. Damn.
Yes.
Stunned with that big attack. Ugh. All right.
Bahn's so much cooler than I ever thought he would be.
All right. As attack rolls have it. Well, I guess they already had advantage, didn't they? Yeah. These guys have been just double debuffed like the whole time almost.
Mm-mm.
All right, Lucian, you have so much advantage.
Oh. I'll just step up, give myself a good shot. Yeah, I'll just do light crossbow. 15 hit.
I believe, as we established earlier, 15 does not penetrate that armor, despite the stunned state. Attacks him even while he can't dodge.
Do I have inspiration?
I think so.
Or did you give? No. Okay.
Not another bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah.
No.
He's been burning those to deal damage now.
Yeah.
How many of those do you have?
I think I've got one left.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna step back.
All right. So we've got the dudes everybody forgot about back here, and they immediately yell. The fact that Bahn, Alaric, Kovac are all here. They're just still. I mean, it's almost just comedic now. Just goons with these sticky webs, just trying to shoot with their crossbows. But they will try to randomly pick their target is Bahn and fire with their disadvantage crossbow.
AC's 14.
Of course, they're not gonna hit that. Troom. We'll try one more random target. Bahn again. Okay. A little bit heavier. For 6 piercing, one of them finally almost randomly gets a shot off. That does trigger a con save for the fairy fire.
Does. Which is -1.
Ah.
But succeeds.
All right, succeeds. You notice when this one hits you successfully, he kind of gives off an almost inhuman growl like a ghoul, and kind of like licks the blood splotches on his hands, and seems to put him into a little bit of a frenzy.
I don't understand why it says +1 in that roll.
Yeah, I'm not sure. -1 and +1.
I literally clicked the word Constitution.
Huh. Giving you a +1 from something. I mean, 11 would have done it anyway, so.
Yeah.
But I'll let you look into that. Kovac.
Alright. Move up here. How does shoving work?
How does
He's
shoving?
stunned.
He is stunned, which means he automatically fails strength and dex saving throws. That's probably important here. It's in the house rules, although I think I just copy and pasted from the book. Let's see. Well, I don't have a shove. I have a grapple. That's not quite the same thing. Essentially, I mean, I think I would allow a shove is essentially the same as a grapple, because you essentially grapple and move them, right? Like, mechanically. Which is actually not a save, it's a check. Does that matter? It says you automatically fail strength and dex saving throws, but not checks.
I'm just gonna try to stab him then.
So it would be, if you wanted to make a grapple check, you basically, instead of an attack roll, you would make an athletics check, contested by the target's athletics or acrobatics check. I would at least give him disadvantage because he's stunned. It just specifically says he has automatically fail strength and dex saves.
It does say
There's
using
there's a shove thing in the DMG.
Oh, okay.
Has it?
That
So it'd be athletics. It'd be an athletics check. Is that the same as shove aside, or would it be different?
or start to the side rather than away. What the hell's the difference?
In the player's handbook, it says using an attack action, you can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either knock it prone or push it away from you.
Okay.
The target of your shove must be no more than one size larger. It must be within your reach. You make a strength athletics check contested by a target's athletics or acrobatics.
All right. Yeah, same as grapple.
You
Okay.
succeed automatically if the target's incapacitated.
Okay. Because he's stunned, I would confer, if you want to do that, or you could attack him, but I would confer disadvantage on his contested check.
I'm gonna do it just because it seems cool.
Does seem cool.
All right, so I make
If
an
he's stunned, the creature is incapacitated. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
You're right. The very
Nested
first thing under stun says
conditions.
you are incapacitated. I hate the fucking conditions. It's like it's a pyramid scheme of like, why is this hard? It's like a choose an adventure book, like stun. Oh, you were incapacitated. Okay, let's look at incapacitated. Like, fuck. You're right though. The very first sentence is you are incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. And because he's incapacitated,
You automatically succeed when shoved.
Okay.
If the target's at incapacitated.
okay, so essentially you don't have to make a check. You just literally can. You don't get to attack though. It takes up your action, but you can just literally shove him for free because he's stunned.
I'll just put my hand on his head and
Let's have Rye roll the damage again on that spell.
Yeah.
Because I believe he also automatically fails dex save. So he gets pushed onto the fire, erupting lava. Doesn't actually kill him, believe it or not. But he definitely gives off he can only speak falteringly, but maybe he can still scream and whimper when fire erupts all around him. And he appears to be nearly dead.
But he's going to take that damage again because he's stunned until the end of his next turn.
That is actually a very good point.
So that was a double hit.
Yeah. He can only speak falteringly, but he does whisper out and he says, "Now, I surrender. Stop this fire." But it is currently Kovac's turn. He says that in common. He does see that in, say that in common. You can tell it almost offends him to speak common tongue.
I'm not gonna do anything.
I don't have to save you. I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save your life either. These guys are never gonna get free, so they're just gonna keep on trying to shoot. Anybody? Let's try Alaric.
I'm on the ground, so he has a disadvantage.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, he's already got disadvantage anyway. He's fucking restrained. They've been disadvantaged this whole time. Not gonna do it. Alright, so this guy is stunned. Which means he can't move. So it's the end of his turn, and because he ends his turn, the eruption goes off again. So Rye, roll that damage again. Alright, and all of you very satisfyingly see him give off a just Herculean scream. As the flames just engulf. What did the description say again? He's burned to ash. His body is completely consumed by flame. And Ride, is your turn. You still have a bunch of people just stuck in webs flailing around back there.
I can't see his number. I'm gonna shoot number 2. If anything has it, it'll be poorly.
We'll do it. Or hit him.
22.
Yeah. Well, these guys actually have not been hit very much, but they just have been stuck in these webs.
So I rolled a 1 on a d10. Took that 4 damage.
Do these guys look like they want to surrender?
They appear more just infuriated than anything else. Being stuck in these webs, they look almost hilariously helpless. They do look and see that the other one has, presumably their boss has been just engulfed in flames. They've been stuck in these webs. So, they look like they may be trying to flee now, out of their webs. Like they're kind of forgetting about their crossbows and now scrambling with fear in their eyes. And we go to Alaric.
Okay, Alaric is going to stand up, use half of his movement.
I guess go ahead and give me go ahead and give me a con save for a possible lingering injury.
Oh dear.
So we did hit 0.
Yes.
15 is the number you're looking for. Yeah.
Oh dear. Hit the magic purple button.
Yep. For lingering injury, you should have. Yep.
Oh, that's appropriate.
You got an internal injury, disadvantage on con saving throws or checks. Oh boy, if you did that one.
Yeah, that's so
All right.
appropriate.
Make a note of that, and I will make notes.
So he's going to stand up. Justice demands blood, and cast Bloody Smite. It's a bonus action. Walk up. Try and grab my token here. Walk up. And swing at number 1 with advantage.
Okay. Team definitely hits. These guys are not nearly as armored.
6. And he needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is that the thing you didn't get to use in the temple?
Yep.
Ah.
And he fails. So
1d6 necrotic damage and bleeds profusely from the mouth.
he's already doing it. So
What's funny is you don't even almost notice it because he's already got blood all over his mouth as if he were recently feasting and eating bloody bits. So now it just looks like he's vomiting up whatever he ate.
and that's what, an R/1d6.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very nice.
Full 6 damage. This is an ongoing effect? Is there just one?
Yes,
1d6
it's an ongoing effect.
Okay. At the start of each of its turns. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Boy. That symbol on there. Getting a little crowded with the debuffs, guys. Bahn.
Bahn walks up and says, "Your time has come."
Ooh.
Fucking vicious.
I'm gonna attack with a rapier with advantage.
I'm pretty confident now that he's restrained, fairy fired, and bleeding, aren't we?
Yeah.
Was
So it'll be
that like in Alaric's voice? Did
Yes.
Bahn do that?
as much as he could. Yep, as much as he could. 11 piercing damage, and in my. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that is gonna murder this guy.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say in my offhand, but I'll stop there.
Yeah. Whatever you're in the middle of doing, you stab him, and in the middle of him, like bleeding profusely, he just finally sags against the webs.
Yeah.
Alaric just looks down and is like, that was impressive.
You stole my kill.
No, he's not upset about that at all. Put him down.
Did you still want to do something else, or?
Nope.
Okay.
I was gonna hold a dagger in my offhand at this point.
Gotcha.
Now that I'm fighting.
Lucian.
I'm gonna step up here, and now this crossbow is bound to hit. I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna attack number 2. God, 14.
14 does hit these guys.
Okay.
They're not as armored as the boss.
10 piercing.
On which one?
Number 2.
Okay. That one is now heavily injured.
That's a big hit.
Yeah. Max damage on the crossbow.
Yeah. Yep.
Sinks right into his
yeah.
flesh.
I'll just step back here.
All right. Now they are trying to escape. They're in full escape mode. Not gonna happen. It's just like fucking Benny Hill music just playing loudly as they just almost tangle themselves up worse in this web somehow. Just absolutely wrapped around. Just now they're upside down. At one point they're just facing each other awkwardly. Like it's just sad. Kovac.
Kobold Press has really cool monsters, I swear.
They're different definitions of cool.
Where are you going? Stick it around. Wah, wah, wah.
Nice.
They're finding this entire situation unbearable.
You guys took full advantage of the range. I thought I was like, oh, this would be good. I've got a range up. It'll take them a while to get there. I was like, oh wait, no, they're just gonna kick my ass at range.
All right, I'm gonna shoot number 2 with my short bow.
$24 definitely hits.
8 plus.
All right, so you get advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
With the sneak attack, that will kill this one with the special holy radiant bolt that just kind of flares up as it enters his body.
All right.
That one's dead. Rye, you've got 1 target remaining.
All right, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Literally.
Nope.
No. Not gonna do it.
I should move closer. I'm way too far away.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see. It's dim.
Yeah, there's bugs flying around. Just the creak noise is throwing you off.
It's the water. It's messing me up.
Why is it so loud, guys? As he crashes this giant gun. I can't even with these conditions. I need to go back to
concentrating on the
the
magma.
quiet city.
Well, there's there's like mist and like spray that's popping up. It's really messing me up.
That guy's just really committed to this. I got a little bit of smoke in my eye. Smoke rising off the charred, burned body here. Alaric.
Turn back. Hey, Lucian, do you mind dropping the web?
Yeah, I'll drop it.
Just seems cruel now. That's kind of a badass timing, though. The web disappears. The dude thinks he's free, and then Alaric just fucking walks up to him.
And he's still glowing.
Still fairy fired, absolutely.
So we have still advantage.
Only one of his debuffs have been released. 19 does hit. For 10 piercing, actually still alive. But he's in full fear mode.
Krakova remembers.
Bahn.
Take a step forward. Drop my dagger. Use my whip. 6 slashing damage.
And crack it. Bahn, congratulations, you've stolen another kill.
Alaric's not mad at all.
Yeah.
Not mad at all.
Yeah, I mean, geez, those debuffs did some work. And they appear to be all deceased. I'm going to go ahead and throw a point of inspiration for Lucian for the fucking web, which was
Showstopper.
very effective. Yeah. Very effective.
Could have got overrun there.
The most
I'll
effective use I've seen.
pick up my dagger. And then what do we see now that we're next to these bodies?
And the ashes.
Hang on.
And the eaten bodies.
Let me guys turn you off turn-based mode. Alright. Combat has... Alright, so... what you see are the bodies appear to be... they're in really nasty shape. They are clearly have been brutally killed and, like, partially consumed. And not like somebody's taking a steak knife to them either, but just like carving them like an animal would. So maybe it would take a medicine check to try and determine anything about these bodies.
I'll give it a shot.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, Alaric, you do have some experience dealing with people who have been killed by undead and ghouls, and they do appear to be dwarves, and judging by their dress, they appear to be perhaps like simple farmers.
We'll attempt to arrange the body with as much dignity as possible for those, and since we're going to a dwarven hold, plan on bringing him with us so they can have proper rights.
I'm not
Okay.
giving him my seat.
There's room. You're
Don't go-
small.
Technically throw them on the back of a horse. They're pretty small and unfortunately made even smaller. The only one that's got anything of note on their body, you have to wait a while for it to cool down. But there is a sack of coins, which I'm going to be nice and say was not melted, that this ghoul had, as well as some gems. Actually, you know what? I am going to melt some of these coins. Fuck you guys. You recover from the burned molten lava, because it does say reduce to ash. I'm like, all right, that's going to fuck up his treasure
The sack's
table
definitely gone.
a little bit. Yeah, his sack got melted. You know what? I'm gonna have Rye, since you did the molten lava, give me a 1d10, please.
Roll low.
No, you want high.
Oh.
You recover. You notice he had a whole pouch full of pale blue moonstones that are worth 50 gold each. And you notice some of them have been destroyed and charred and melted, but you do recover 7 of them. You also had a few coins that you do recover. We're going to say 60 gold coins. And you notice about half of them have the normal, stamp of the Iron Crag currency, the dwarven currency. The other half, however, are ones that probably none of you have actually seen before, but you get a cold shiver as you look at them, and they're gold skulls and silver ducats bearing the head of a ghoulish figure on it. And you begin to think this is actually currency of the Ghoul Imperium. But it does appear to be still gold. It's just like, so in other words, functionally you think it would be the same, but it's like if somebody, I'm trying to think analogous to us, if somebody handed you a rare, like a $2 bill or something, or like a $50. You just don't see it very often, but it's technically coinage. Would be the case here, except it would be like a cursed version of that. People would be like, whoa. Some people might like it though, just like think, oh, this is kind of cool, but you imagine this, a lot of people be freaked out by it as well. You also find
Canadian penny.
There you go. Even though it would make no sense because this would be burned up, but need you all to find this. We'll say it was in a special flame retardant tube.
It dropped out of the ground.
It dropped.
It dropped out onto the ground as he
conveniently kind of rolled away before he fucking melted. You find a charcoal sketch of a figure. In a rolled up parchment tube that rolled away from his body and did not get melted.
Like his mustache.
Yeah.
That looks like a hussar.
It doesn't have any words with it or anything. It's just a picture.
And that's not anybody that we currently recognize.
Not anybody you would recognize. But Alaric, you might be onto something where you think his features look Krakovan.
Yep. The glorious mustache of an officer.
Indeed. And that's the only thing you find on there. You guys can then, as you mentioned, retrieve the bodies, and go ahead and get a short rest as you find a campsite. You can short rest from these events, and then after that, hop back and continue north as you are close to your destination.
Would like to take the rest of the bodies while the magma is still going and throw those on there.
Okay.
Dispose of the ghouls.
Burn them, yeah. I like it. Resting.
If you need you can roll a d6. I was doing Song of Rest too.
Yeah, Song of Rest.
Then I wouldn't need the second hit dice then.
Yeah.
Anybody can choose to make a history or nature check to try and figure out what the humans were doing mixed up with what appeared to be undead ghouls, intelligent otherwise.
I can do nature.
I need
I'll do
history or nature.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
We're just showing off now. Bahn and Kovac for two very different reasons. Kovac, probably from your street smarts, you've learned this. Maybe from the same source you learned the Daracool language. And Bahn, I imagine you're just learned about this in
Pick it up around work.
a forbidden book in the library or something, yeah. But you have recalled that there is a cannibalistic cult called the Creed of All Flesh that worships the hunger god Verdazane. And most, but not all, ghouls worship this god. And many people do as well. And the people that worship the god all partake in cannibalistic rituals. And they seem to want to curry favor with ghouls and the Imperium, and many of them wish to ascend into becoming a undead and possibly even a Daracool, which is kind of the highest form of the intelligent undead ghouls. Which is pretty unsettling to find at the side of a road.
Okay, so they were trying to go through that process, kind of. That's what these alive guys were doing.
You're not sure if that was their specific purpose here.
Training, like.
You may think it might have something to do with
Dry run.
that sketch you found. Maybe they were trying to search for somebody. But it just so happens that, yeah, these a lot of the reason why a lot of people join the cult is because they specifically have like a cannibalistic fetish thing going on, and they hope to one day prove themselves by eventually ascending to the undead. So they kind of and you would know that the actual ghouls would probably treat them as very much like low rank shock troopers or something to that effect. They don't seem to respect anybody who's not undead, but they will work with people who do worship their same dark gods. You can all share this over a lovely campfire in the evening.
Yeah.
I feel even better about what we did today.
Yeah. All right, you all finally pack up and journey north. And the final probably 2 days of travel are blissfully uneventful. The road's barren, save for a patrol of about a dozen dwarven soldiers, whom you meet on your final day of travel a few miles outside of Gristle. Their surcoats bearing the emblem of the Black Canton, a round silver shield on a black field. Stony-faced leader calls out to you, demanding your names and your purpose for travel. And I think that's actually where we're gonna call it for tonight's for this session. Well, thank you to Brandon, Corey, Christopher, Genocider, and Stan for playing. Thank you to the wonderful fans and patrons. And shoutouts to Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, William, I'm Loud, Brandon, Genocider, David, Eclectic, Roll, Christopher, Brian, William, David, Jammin, Clams, Corey, Koa1337, Jacob, Eric, and Kyle. And gold patrons: RPG, Papercrafts, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, Marcus, Dead Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Lumpy Spuds, Jerome, Nathan, Fast Like a Tortoise, Scott, Humanoid Size, Sphincter, Stephanie, Refus, and Carolyn. Thank you all very much, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.